For Abbotsford West.
Thanks, Mr. Speaker. Well, look, people are trying to reconcile what they are hearing from the Premier, from his ministers today, yesterday, with the reality of what is going on out there. Has the Premier seen what's going on out there? In cities across British Columbia, random violence at rates that we have never seen before in this province. A police chief, a provincial police chief, who seems to have given up on the justice system. Look, it has to be said, in cities across British Columbia, there are times when it's hard to walk 4 blocks and not trip over someone who is strung out in the sidewalk with drug paraphernalia strewn about. And, Mr. Speaker, if the Premier doesn't think that the proliferation of drug use that has taken place as a result of policies that he has introduced does not lead to unpredictable behavior and sometimes violent behavior, then he's in denial. Mr. Speaker, the Premier chose to expand the availability of drugs without ensuring that detox on demand was available. And people are paying the price. Those addicted are paying the price, Mr. Speaker. The Premier chose to warehouse the homeless without providing adequate supports. And people are paying the price. The Premier has defended for years now his catch and release justice system that has seen random crime spiral out of control. And Mr. Speaker, innocent victims are paying the price. No one believes the Premier's announcements, Mr. Speaker.
Come to the question, please.
Because no one has heard the Premier acknowledge that the chaos we see in the streets are the result of his policies. Mr. Speaker, will the Premier acknowledge and finally admit that it's his failed policies that have led to the chaos, that it's his failed policies that have led to the violence, and that it is his failed policies that have left British Columbians feeling unsafe and communities right across the country?
Honourable Premier of British Columbia.
Thank you, Jong. When I was sworn in as Premier, Honourable Speaker, there were 4 key areas of priority that I laid out for British Columbians that we would work on. The issue of housing, make sure you have an affordable place to live. The issue of health care, make sure you have access to health care when and where you need it, including family doctors. The issue of public safety.
Members, please, have some respect.
Recognizing that everyone in our province has a right to be safe.
He listened to your questions. Listen to his answer with respect.
To be safe when they go to work, when they go to school, when they use transit, at home. And to build a strong economy that works for everybody. On the issue of public safety, Honourable Speaker, we've been aggressive with Ottawa. It was the Minister for Public Safety and the Attorney General who led the charge nationally to get the federal government to commit to change their bail laws to fix the problems that have been caused by that change. Honourable Speaker, on that national front, we are unified with premiers across Canada, meeting with the chiefs of police from across Canada on April 21st, in just 3 days, in an emergency meeting called for by all the premiers to respond to this issue that we're seeing across the country. This is a very serious issue, Honourable Speaker. It deserves to be treated with seriousness. And I have to say, I regret very much the members standing up and pretending that our response to the toxic drug overdose crisis was not endorsed by all the parties in this House except for the BC Conservatives. They were the only party that did not endorse that approach. It's a complicated and challenging issue of keeping people alive so they can get into treatment. $1 billion we put into the budget to expand treatment options for people. We're going to continue to do that work. And the members on both sides of the House I know this is a complicated national issue, but BC is showing leadership every single day in addressing